Hey everybody, back again with another video on this van modification, trying to make this 2010 Transit Connect work for two people. I've had several people asking me what am I going to do about the refrigerator, and am I going to haul that 50 quart, I think it's a 50 quart Dometic CF50 refrigerator. Where am I going to put it? So here's my plan. If you've been looking at my previous videos, you'll notice I have that rack on the back of my van, that cargo rack that I purchased, I think, at Northern Tools for, it was on sale, I think it was $30. And it'll hold, they claim 500 pounds. Now I don't want to put 500 pounds on it. But I hauled this cargo box on it last year, or last winter, with a 100 watt Renogy solar panel on top of this. And then I just had it strapped on there with cargo straps. And that worked okay, but it was kind of a pain to undo the straps to get into the box. And I just hauled extra camping equipment in this that I felt like I needed to have with me, but it turns out I didn't need that stuff hardly at all. So since I have the rack and I have this box, I've come up with an idea to put my cooler, my refrigerator, in this box. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's going to get hot in this box. And yes, you're right. But I've got some ideas for a solution to that, which you'll see as I progress with these videos about mounting this refrigerator on my cargo rack. I think can remedy most, if not all, of the issues that I'll have by putting a refrigerator inside this box. I will probably end up painting this box white. That's my first step to overcome some of the temperatures that it's going to encounter being inside this box. The second issue is I have that CF50 and it's just slightly too tall for this box by about a ½ an inch. It fits in there perfectly except for the top. And if you see, the top has got these ribs, and that adds to the strength of the top of this box. If I cut these ribs down or cut them out, I would significantly reduce the strength of the lid. However, it's really not going to matter because I don't really plan on having much on top of the box except for my solar panel. But what I've decided to do is I'm going to buy another refrigerator. I'm going to buy a 30 quart. I had somebody specifically ask me if I'm going to keep the 50 quart, and I intended to do that, but I've come up with the new plan. I am going to buy a new refrigerator. My CF50 is still working like it's brand new, and there's nothing wrong with it. But it has paid for itself through the 3 years that I've used it. So I don't really have too much reservations about buying a new one that I can put in this box. The CF50 is about 18.5 inches, or 18 3/4, almost 18 inches tall, which is too tall for this box. I'll do more videos about it later, but the new refrigerator is only 14.5 or so inches tall, which would be perfect. But my plan is also not only to paint the outside of the box white, but I'm also going to drill some 3-inch holes in here, and I'm going to put 2 computer cooling fans in there. Now those will be covered by the solar panel. Of course, dust and spraying water could get in there, but I don't think it's going to be an issue. We'll see. Time will tell. And I'm going to power those off my 12-volt battery to run during the daytime. And then I'm also going to put some vents in the bottom. I'm going to put 4 or 6 vents in the bottom of this box to pull cool air from outside, or as cool as it is outside, through the box, and the warm air will rise and be sucked out of the box by the 12-volt cooling fans. I know it's a pretty far-fetched idea, but if you're curious as to whether or not it's going to work, as am I, stay tuned and keep watching these videos. You'll see the progress and the results when I'm finished. Another thing about having this box strapped to that rack with those cargo straps, and the inconvenience, you know, when I want to come back here and open the box, have to undo the straps, and the straps are the only thing. And then I had a cable also to tie it to the rack so nobody could steal it. I'm going to permanently bolt this through the bottom. Yeah, it's pretty dark in there. Anyway, I'm going to put some 1/4-inch bolts through the bottom and mount it to this other part of the plan that I have, which are these 3/4 sheets of plywood. I cut one to fit in the bottom, and then one to go on top that's a little bit skinnier. But the refrigerator, or the box, will be mounted to this sheet of plywood with bolts. And then this sheet of plywood, as you can see, or if you can see, there's 2 pieces here. This sheet of plywood will be mounted to the bottom sheet of plywood on this side with a boat swivel, seat swivel, and then locked down over here with a padlock some way or another. Then what I can do is take the padlock off, take the whole box and refrigerator, and swing them out here to this side and set it on a stand to hold, to support the end of this board. Yeah, basically like this. This will be a demo. So this board, I could pull it out 90 degrees and get into the back of the van, or I could pull it out all the way and then support it on this end with the stand. And that way my solar panel could be out here in the sun. Unfortunately, when you're putting solar on a box, trying to get it in the sun and trying to keep the box cool at the same time, those are kind of contradictory ideas. But I put tons and tons of thought into this, and I don't have a whole lot of money invested. I bought a 1/2 sheet of plywood to try to make this work. So we're going to find out on these upcoming videos if this is going to be a valid idea or if it's just going to be a complete failure. But that is the plan. And then of course I'm going to put some weatherproofing paint or something on this plywood to keep it from getting destroyed by rain or road spray or whatever ends up coming up there. And I just put these 2 water jugs. These are 7-gallon. I think they're 7-gallon. Excuse the lawnmower noise in the back. Hopefully it's not disrupting the audio too bad. These are 6-gallon jugs. So I've got these 2 6-gallon jugs just to show that even with the box on here, I'll have a place to haul 12 gallons of water if I wanted to. Now typically I don't haul my water like this because I don't want, like if I go into a store, I don't want somebody tampering with my water supply and who knows, dumping stuff in there, or even giving somebody the opportunity to do something like that. So I'm a little bit wary about putting my water outside like this. But the possibility is there. Like if I go to town and I'm going to get gas and dump off trash, pick up groceries, with the 2 of us, one of us can stay with the vehicle, which typically we will because we'll have the dog with us. I could haul water this way. and won't have to worry about somebody vandalizing it or stealing the jugs or whatever. But anyway, that's the plan. Let me put the box up here and show you what it'll look like once I have it all set up and mounted. I ordered some fans and some stuff to make that box work, and that seat swivel. That seat swivel was like $17. That's going to go right here on this edge, and I'll show you how all that's going to work. But let me put the box up there and show you what it looks like. So there's what it looks like, and then my solar panel comes out to about here, covers up most of the water bottle section. Then I have space here. I'll be able to strap something if I felt like I needed to. But I used 3/4 inch plywood, which is probably overkill, but the reason I went with 3/4, there's a couple of reasons. One, to bring it up to the level I need it to, so this will be able to swing and miss this lip. And two, and there's 3 pieces of 2x4, one here, one in the middle, and one on that edge, lifting that plywood up above the grate. I don't know if the camera can see it or not. Maybe. Yeah, like that. That's just to bring it up to the level I need it so it'll clear this when I swing it out. The swivel mount's going to add about another inch on the height, but that'll still, once it swings out of the way, put it out of the way of these back doors. This swivel needs to go as far out on this edge as I can put it in order for that whole thing to be able to swing out here far enough to open this door on this side. I could pull it out 90 degrees and open this right door, which is the door that opens first, and that would work fine. But anyway, it's going to be interesting to see if it'll work and see if I can keep the refrigerator cooled enough to where it's not overworking the compressor and just trashing it because of the heat. But those are issues that I've been trying to deal with and think about and try to figure out how I'm going to make this work. It's a fun project so far, and very, very interesting as far as all of the variables and things that I'm thinking about to try to make it workable. Another couple issues to think about is, well, the rack itself rated for 500 pounds. The receiver hitch is rated for 350 pounds of tongue weight, and I think both of those are way too much to be putting on the back of this little van. So the figures that I've done, not including the water bottles, let's see, 8 times 6, that'll be about 100 pounds of water right there, those 2 jugs. But the plywood setup, the rack itself, the box, and the refrigerator comes out to just about 150 pounds with that CF50. The 30 quart cooler is going to be a little bit lighter, about half the weight of the CF50, so I could cut another 20 pounds off of that. So I'm thinking 150. Anyway, the whole deal, 150 pounds, maybe a little bit less, minus the water bottles on that receiver hitch. I think we'll be okay. I probably had about that in this box last year when I hauled this around. I never did weigh the stuff that I had in there, but it's probably in that neighborhood. I don't think I had more than 50 or 60 pounds of stuff inside that box. And anyway, that's the plan, guys. I hope you're as interested in this project as I am to see if it's going to work. Appreciate you watching the videos, and keep your fingers crossed. If you have comments, suggestions, or questions, certainly put them in the description below. I'm still trying to sort this all out and figure out all the ways to overcome the obstacles that this is going to create by putting a refrigerator in a box on the back of your the back of your van, but should be interesting to see how it turns out. Thanks again for watching. Hope you guys have a good one. We'll see you on the next one.